Viewers, this is Just Fake Network TV, a home of accurate news and current news for those who subscribe. Want to say a big thank you to every one of you who say God bless you, and if you're yet to do so, please kindly press the subscription button below. And now the news in details. Call for Buhari's resignation. ACF Ohanaeze Afenifere differ. Mixed reactions yesterday trailed the Wednesday call by the Senate Minority Leader Buhari'S for President Muhammadu Buhari to resign over growing insecurity in the country, while Apex Northern Body Arewa Consultative Forum described the call as not only unkind but uncharitable. Apex Igbo Body and Pan-Yoruba Socio-Cultural Group Afenifere asked the president to sack his security chiefs. ACF said that in spite of the prevailing security situation, President Buhari has made some progress in securing the country, adding that if there have been some progress in addressing the issues, let us be fair and give credit to whom it is due and condemn only for purpose of inspiring improvement. ACF Secretary General Anthony Sani, who stated the position of the group, further said as soon as the government was inaugurated for a second term, there was a surge of insecurity posed by kidnapping, armed robbery, banditry, cattle rustling, clashes between herders and farmers, cultism and ritual killings. And instead of coming together to unleash their synergistic potential against the collective challenges, some herbal grievance groups clamoring for government preferment gave the challenges ethnic and religious profiling, thereby unwillingly providing the criminal elements platforms to shield themselves and perpetrate more crimes, knowing it is not possible to prosecute ethnicity and religion. Somehow, the government was able to subdue the attack and relative peace returned until very recently when the attack resurfaced. It was against this backdrop that President Buhari expressed surprises at the resurgence of the attack when a delegation from Niger State paid him a courtesy call few days ago. It is therefore baffling and bewildering that the honest expression of surprise would hand the president a call by his Senate for his resignation. This is most unkind and uncharitable in the sense that there has been substantial reduction of killings since the emergence of the current regime under the watch of President Muhammadu Buhari, however slow. What the government and the armed forces need is not lowering of morale, but inspiration by our leaders, especially when regard is paid to paucity of funds needed for capacity building by way of enough trained and well-equipped security personnel amid competing demand for socio-economic development. It is only in Nigeria that some people are happy when soldiers are killed by the insurgents and post the video anyhow on social media. I read the other day that it is only in Nigeria that killers are left to walk free on the streets, as if the attack and killings are in conventional warfare as against the prevailing guerrilla type of attack. I believe that despite some observed shortcomings of the current regime in the management of the nation, there have been some substantial progress which do not deserve call for the resignation of the helmsman of the government. It is very true that Buhari promised Nigeria that if voted into power, he would tame insecurity posed by not only insurgent sects, but also those posed by other criminal elements of the society. The All Progressive Congress also campaigned that it would tame unbridled corruption as band of socio-economic development, as well as saying the government would diversify the economy away from other dependence on oil wealth that is never a result of hard work. Nigerians voted the APC and Buhari into government with the hope that the promises would find expression. Because of frustration with the immediate past regime, most Nigerians did not consider the reality that in politics there are some promises that are too good to be true because either the predisposing factors were not considered in depth or the promises were truly unrealistic and gave no rooms for freak. Since morning to government, President Buhari told the nation that what he saw was over and above his estimates. The president was honest enough to admit he considered the possibility of abdication, but for instance of patriotic courage. But the government has confronted the challenges and there have been appreciable progress. Ohanaeze, who said Buhari would have resigned if it were to be in other climes, given the prevalent situation in the country, however, stated that its position is that the president should rejig the security architecture of the country, starting with the sack of the security chiefs. Reacting to the development through Chief Emeka Atama, the special advisor on media to the President General of Ohanaeze, Chief John Nnayi Chief Emeka Atama, who spoke on behalf of the group, also said that the body agrees with the National Assembly that the security system in the country has completely broken down. The group stated that the formation of regional and sectional security outfits like Amotekun and the ones being proposed by the Southeast and North Central Zone, among others, is evidence of the failure of the federal security apparatus. We are not really saying that the president should resign. You know that for the president to resign, it is a Herculean task. But in other climes, the prevalent situation is enough for the president to resign. But in Nigeria, the situation is such that we cannot advocate for that because of obvious political implications. So, we can only say that he should change the heads of the security agencies. The service chief, which we have been telling him for a long time, keeping people who are supposed to have resigned a long time ago in service, the 9 others who are supposed to rise through the rank to assume the positions they are occupying, and it is engendered serious disaffection and resentment because people are not happy within the forces. The people they are commanding cannot give their best as their followers, and that has broken down the whole security apparatus of the country. It is crystal clear to everybody in the country that we are reaching a situation of falling over a precipice. It's crystal clear that Nigeria is heading towards a precipice, and any moment citizens and sections of the country begins to form security apparatus of their own, it presupposes that the federal security system has flailed, and it is evidence that the security system in Nigeria has actually failed. There have been calls for a long time for the president to rejig the security apparatus in the country, change the head of security organization, but he said no for primitive, nepotistic and personal reasons instead of the welfare of the whole country he is governing. And the security situation has deteriorated to a level where everybody is now to your tent of Israel. The Senate President is of the APC and the Speaker of the House of Representatives is also of the APC. If APC is now saying that the security system has collapsed, then this is the first time Nigerians are coming out with the truth. It's no longer drawn along political line because the first thing in the life is self-preservation. You have to be alive for you to enjoy the dividends of democracy. Afenifere, which spoke through one its leaders, Chief Ayo Adebanjo, also backed the call for sack of service chief. His word, it is only in this country that Buhari will last so long. He shouldn't have spent more than 2 years in his first term because people sent him away, but because people are so fanatical about what is wrong, people refuse to listen. Didn't I warn people in 2015 not to vote for Buhari? What did I say then? That is not true now. Despite that, they re-elected him and people are getting the results and now shouting Buhari must go. How can security be so bad and the man is still there? The service chief are still saying that they are doing their best. People should have been fired by now. The president has shown a lot of incompetence, so what people are saying is not new, but it is better late than never. We are talking about his resignation. He will not go. The constitution does not allow it, but it is right to say so to know the feelings of the people. If we want to let him go, we must change the constitution. The constitution is making him autocratic and so complacent. He has control over everything. So, if we are serious that he should go, this constitution must go for us to return to true federalism. The moment we do that, we can send him away. Until you do that, you are in slavery. Header statement: Alhaji Tanko Yakasai, who also threw his weight behind sack of the service chief, however faulted calls for Buhari's resignation, saying it might not really change the security situation in the country. He told News Telegraph that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will take over if the president resigns, but wonder what difference it will make since they were elected on the same platform and had been sharing ideas on how to govern the country. According to him, the problem of insecurity in the country is very disturbing, but advised Nigerians to begin to elect leaders with capacity to tackle the challenges instead of voting for peoples based on sentiment. His words: the problem of insecurity in the country is very disturbing, and what I can agree with is that the president needs to change his strategy. He also needs to replace his security chiefs because his personal strategy has failed, and the strategies of his security chiefs have also failed. So it is better to reconsider the problem to see how he can come up with a new solution. The present situation is not working. However, the problem with his resignation is that this is a presidential system of government and the president is elected, and if he resigns, his deputy take over. I did not see to what extent there will be any change if the president goes and his deputy takes over. I think that rather than risking the future, I would say the security chiefs should be replaced. Maybe the new ones will come with new ideas and that will help the country. Wow. I think they've said it all. We don't have to even go back and forth already. I think they just need to change the security chief of staff. At least let's see what will happen at the end of the day. So guys, what do you think? Your comment is highly appreciated. Kindly drop your comment in the comment section below and God bless you.